Hi, good evening. It's Jess Farmer from the Gym Beer here. So it's part two of the series where I talk about the core and various different aspects of it and how to start reconditioning it in different ways for different purposes. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about reconditioning the core, the deepest abdominal wall, after say a cesarean section or after any other sort of abdominal operation where they need to make an incision and stitch you back up. I'm also going to be talking about how to reduce the pooch belly, so when your belly just hangs over and nothing can bring it back in. Okay, so this is caused by the transversus abdominis, which is a big muscle but a thin muscle that goes all the way from the front of the body all the way to the back. Now it attaches into the top of your rib cage, the bottom of your rib cage and the top of your pelvis, goes all the way around to the back. Now it is responsible for stability of the body and also to protect the spine. Now you can imagine the transverse abdominis. I'm actually going to show you where it is on this. Meet Kenny. He guards the gym when I'm not here. So the transverse abdominis, you can see, is number 13 here. So it's 3 layers down, the deepest layer of the abdominal wall, musculature wise. So 11 external oblique, 12 internal oblique, and 13 TVA, which goes all the way around the back. Now, you can think of the TVA, as we're going to call it, transverse abdominis, as a bit of a Mexican finger trap. So, with the finger traps, when you pull them tight and you can't get them off your fingers, that's kind of what the TVA does. Now, it's responsible for drawing the belly button in. Now, when we draw the belly button in, we're effectively finger trapping our body, which gives us a hell of a lot of support all around the core, and it's essential for lifting up any objects, especially if you want to be lifting weights. So, quite a common occurrence in women and all kinds of people post-op, particularly cesarean section, is that a few months after the operation, they'll start getting back pain. Now, we'll take the analogy from the other day about the spine being a ship mast with ropes coming off of the spine. Now, if one rope is too tight, it's going to pull the ship mast, or if a rope isn't there, then all of the other ropes will have to pick up the slack, which will manifest in pain. So, given how big the TVA is, all the way from the front to the back, imagine if that doesn't work as it should work. Imagine how much stability you've lost and how much all the other muscles are going to need to do the job. So, bad news is that with surgery, this can completely destroy the abdominal wall, completely ruptures the nerve endings and also the mind-muscle connection to our brain. So our brain forgets it's there, essentially, and doesn't use it as a result. This can also come through improper breathing technique, but that's a whole other subject on its own, which I'll be talking about on Thursday. So how to recondition the TVA post-op. So the main thing to bear in mind here is you must be gentle, especially if you've just had a child. The whole area is going to be extremely sore. You've got to be very, very delicate with it. Now, the recommendations are that, especially if you've had a cesarean section, not to exercise for about 6 weeks afterwards, as a minimum. After that, you can start reconditioning. So this moving this video here, especially as I got a message from one of my friends with a C-section who is actually getting back pain at the moment. So to begin reconditioning it, the first protocol is going to be to breathe diaphragmatically. So again, there's going to be a lot more on this on Thursday, but we want to be breathing through the nose into the belly. Okay, so a lot of people are chest breathers, not belly breathers. So the TVA is responsible for drawing the belly button in. So imagine if you're breathing into the chest all the time, never using the belly, your TVA never has to work. So again, it turns off. Our bodies are incredibly efficient, and so efficient that if we don't use a muscle, our body will perceive that it takes up too much energy, therefore we'll turn it off, which will lead to problems such as lack of stability. So your first port of call to recondition the TVA post-op is going to be through breathing diaphragmatically, breathing into the belly. Everyone should do this anyway, but that's, like I said, a whole nother video for Thursday. Okay, now the second exercise to recondition the transverse abdominis, your innermost abdominal wall, is something called the 4-point tummy vacuum, which I was taught by my mentor, Paul Check. You can check out his book, which I'll put in the notes below, called Eat, Move and Be Healthy. It's basically the my Bible for the next 5 years or so at the Check Institute. It's a really good book. So the 4-point tummy vacuum is, you want to come like this. You're a tabletop, and what you're looking to do is breathe all of the oxygen out of your lungs, and then suck your belly as hard as you can up towards your spine. So what we're trying to do is activate that TVA and really pull as hard as we can. Imagine you're getting the belly button to try and touch the spine. Okay, and we're holding for 10 seconds, hard as you can, then letting go. Or if you can't hold your breath too long with no air in the lungs, just breathe when it's natural. We just want to hold it as long as we can, okay? So I'm going to do 3 reps. You're looking to start with 10 reps with 10-second holds each time. Okay, so I'll put all this in the notes below, but so we're breathing out, sucking the belly button in, so really sucking towards the spine. Suck, suck, suck. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let out. And breathe in. You may need to breathe a couple of times, and then you go in for the second repetition. So breathe everything out. With all the air out of your lungs, suck the belly button in, which activates the TVA for 10 seconds, and then breathe out, and then you get the picture. So 10 reps of 10 seconds each, and build up to 3 sets of that. Now, not everyone is going to need to do this. This is for individuals that have particularly weak abdominal walls. Now, there is a test for that, but it's a bit of a touchy-feely one, so it's tough to show that on video. But yeah, again, if you get the book, Eat, Move and Be Healthy, the test is in there. So first exercise. Second exercise is going to be pelvic tilts. So this just involves lying down like this, and you want to be squeezing your bum together and tilting the pelvis back so that your back flattens on the floor. Now you're going to activate and wake up your bum by doing this, and also start conditioning the core. Okay. So do a number of those there. Relatively easy and straightforward to do. Now the next one is going to be the good old-fashioned plank, but if you are in recovery from surgery, or if you've just had a baby, the full-blown plank, even if you were doing it all the time before, may not be the best option for you, because it could put too much load through, and you've got to be gentle, got to be so gentle post-op. So we can still do a version of the plank though, so we're just going to do it from the knees and just here. So whenever the belly button is drawn in, that's when the TVA is working, okay? So always draw the belly button in. In fact, to do any core exercise whatsoever, draw that belly button in, okay? Another sort of point about the TVA is you'd be surprised how many like bodybuilder types, they've got these fantastic washboard abs, but they've got a weak, inefficient TVA because the external abdominals take over, and then one day they go for a squat a little bit too heavy and they do themselves a mischief. So really important not to have that imbalance between inner and outer units. So yeah, now again with the plank, if you are post-op, go from the knees, and then as you feel comfortable enough, move the knees further back and further back until eventually you can come up on your toes. Now, Again, post-op, you really don't want to push this one, so stop before you're going to fail. You don't want to be down on the floor dying, oh God, oh my God. You don't want that, because that's going to train a bad pattern into the nervous system. Now, I'm going to show you one more exercise, and then I'm going to elaborate more on the TVA when we go into breathing techniques on Thursday. This next one's really good, but only to be attempted once you have got the previous exercises, because this one is, again, progression from the 4-point tummy vacuum and the plank. It's the TVA ball rollout. So you want a Swiss ball for this. Okay, what you want to do, put your elbows on the Swiss ball, draw the belly button in, and roll out. You want to roll out for 3 seconds, hold for 3 seconds, and back in for 3 seconds. Okay, now to make it harder, just put your arms further down the ball. So roll out, 3, 2, 1, and in, 3, 2, 1. Or you want to hold out for 3, 2, 1. And out, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Sucking the belly button in, and back in, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's all good. Hi, Michelle. You're going to find today's video really useful. So strengthening the TVA, extremely important. This is going to be the first step to also bring the pooch belly in. I'll elaborate more on that later in the week. Now, things that can turn the TVA off is not using it, being a chest breather, which we'll talk about later in the week. Sitting down, a sedentary lifestyle, the TVA doesn't really need to work, so our brain again switches it off. Or post-op, the abdominal wall is going to be destroyed, so it needs to be reconditioned. You need to teach your brain to start using it again. Once it starts firing again, and it's going to develop a lot quicker. But the first step, all of these exercises today, has been switching it back on, re-educating the nervous system, telling your brain that it's there. Okay. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about desktop posture, forward pelvic tilt that can happen, and then the curve in the spine that can develop from that, and what happens pain-wise, but also some common fixes for it. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.